Big Red Zone game day.
Well, there were plenty of firsts tonight in Lincoln. Matt Rhule's first home game as Nebraska head coach, the first tunnel walk out of the northeast corner of the stadium, and a first career start for the homegrown Husker himself, Heinrich Haarberg, the pride of Kearney, Nebraska. Haarberg getting the start in place of the injured Jeff Sims. Couldn't script a better first drive for the Big Red. Haarberg off play action, going out to Billy Kemp, and at BK, have it your way. His first touchdown as a Husker, 7-0 Nebraska. Second series, the exact opposite. Haarberg going to get hit and fumbles. Huskies recovered. They'd turn that into a field goal to make it 7-3. Score would stay that way until late second quarter. Haarberg finds a wide open Thomas Fidone. The roommate-to-roommate connection is good for the 16-yard touchdown. Huskers up 14-3. Black shirts playing with some juice after that one. MJ Sherman coming through and bringing down Rocky Lombardi for Nebraska's third sack of the half. Huskers took a 14-3 lead into the locker room. Nebraska looking to add some cushion to that lead. Haarberg to Alex Bullock on the bubble screen, and watch the former junior Jay fly. Big gainer of 33 yards to move the chains on third down. Few plays later, Gabe Ervin Jr. going up and over the pile. His first touchdown of the year caps a 14-play, 76-yard drive, 21-3 Nebraska after 3. And between quarters, how about a little drone light show? Memorial Stadium absolutely rocking, and Haarberg kept the party going in the fourth, calls his own number, shows off the speed, and scampers in for the 20-yard touchdown. The kid from Kearney had himself a night, and so did Tony White's defense. Only thing missing was a turnover, and that changed now. Javin Wright, right place, right time, picks off Lombardi to put the game on ice as Nebraska gets win number 1 under Matt Rhule, 35-11. Let's break down Heinrich Haarberg's first start by the numbers. Not bad for the kid from Kearney, 158 passing yards. Also led the team with 98 yards on the ground and accounted for 3 total touchdowns. With more on the win, let's join Andy Kendi, who's live inside Memorial Stadium. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Matt, I don't know what was cooler tonight, the drone show in between the third and fourth quarter leading into Thunderstruck, or watching a Husker defense that is simply outstanding. The Black Shirts really took this game into their own hands, and the offense did enough to win, and it was good enough to get Matt Rhule his first victory as the Huskers head coach. Now, Matt Rhule, after the game, said, for the fans, this victory may be about hope, but for him, this victory was about belief. Believing in his process, believing that his process will work, and believing that his process will work and win football games. Here's Matt Rhule just moments ago.
Really proud of the way that the team stood together, and I think that we've gotten better each week. And certainly wasn't perfect tonight, but there were a lot of really good things, and thought they played like a team. Which that first turnover down in the red zone, defense going out there and getting the stop, holding them to a field goal. That's really the culture we want to have, and having 96 yards rushing in the fourth quarter, that's the culture we want to have. Putting games away with the run game. So a lot of things obviously in between. Had a couple guys go down with injuries. Ramir went down and Cam went down. Gabe went down at the end. Hopefully they'll all be okay. But a lot of credit to Northern Illinois. I was watching that Florida State-BC game today, seeing BC almost beat Florida State. After seeing these guys beat BC, knew it would be a battle, and I thought our guys hung in there and did a good job.
Know that Heinrich was going to be the guy, and just how proud were you of his effort stepping in and what he did tonight?
Yeah, I think he practiced well on Tuesday, and then practiced well on Wednesday. Jeff really worked his tail off to come back and be ready to go, and showed unbelievable team by being willing to practice on Friday. Was willing to go out there and be the third team quarterback, emergency quarterback. But I just think after we got done with Wednesday, we knew that it would be Heinrich, just because he was practicing pretty well. And then we got in the game, and Northern Illinois completely changed. Just for Heinrich. I mean, they ran up the field, and so they really tried to take away the zone read game for us. They really tried to take away the counter game. Some of the things that we're pretty good at, they took away. So I thought Sat and Donnie made some really good adjustments on the sidelines and found some formations that were good for us, and we were able to run the ball at the end.
It's Matt Rule, who's now 48-45 as a collegiate head coach, now 1-2 at Nebraska, 1-0 at home. Let's bring in our Big Red Zone insider, Sean Callahan, HuskerOnline.com. Sean, your thoughts on a memorable night here at Memorial Stadium?
Yeah, what a beautiful night. A long wait to kick off this Matt Rule era, but well worth the wait. We saw finally that complementary football we wanted to see. Offense, defense, special teams, it all came together. Most importantly, Heinrich Haarberg, first start, did his job, executed.
Let's talk about Heinrich Haarberg. He went 21 of 98 in terms of rushing the ball, and he was the leading rusher and really did what he had to do to win.
Yeah, I mean, he had the one turnover, but it was a hit that came on him and caused the fumble. Other than that, it was a really clean night. He went for nearly 100 yards. The key was the third down plays, though, in the second half. That's what kind of turned this game. It ticked the play clock or play count up, the time of possession, and that's when Nebraska's offense really started to lean on Northern Illinois. And as Marcus Satterfield said, it was a lot of body blows where eventually Northern Illinois just was not able to keep up with Nebraska's running game.
Huskers converted a bunch of third downs, especially in that second half. 8 of 14 for the game, and Thomas Fidone stepping up in a big way. Another touchdown, second in as many weeks.
Yeah, Thomas Fidone and Heinrich Haarberg have a relationship that goes all the way back to 2020 in high school. They were commitments during that COVID year. The two of them were very close, and they've been through their own battles. Heinrich Haarberg was kind of run out of town almost by Mark Whipple, and Fidone had the knee injury. So for these two guys to finally get their opportunities on this field tonight, pretty special for two local guys.
And laying the foundation here moving forward. Louisiana Tech coming in, and the Huskers have 4 of their next 5 at home. They can make a run here.
Yeah, we all knew that the beginning of the year with the 2 road games was going to be tough, but the reward was only really 1 road game in all of September and October, the rest of the way before you go to Michigan State in November. So a real opportunity for momentum. You could even see in Matt Rule's eyes just playing at Memorial Stadium, knowing just what kind of advantage and how special this atmosphere can be.
A sense of relief for some fans. 296 days since the last victory for Nebraska football, and it's win number 1 for Matt Rule as they get ready to take on Louisiana Tech and try to make a winning streak next Saturday. Reporting live with Sean Callahan, I'm Andy Kennedy for KETV News Watch 7 Sports.